Today, I want to talk about something that every person dealing with cancer needs, and that's a support system. Let's be honest, we all need our people no matter what we're going through in life. Whether it's good times or bad times, it's important to have people to share those moments with, to pick you up when life isn't going so great, or to celebrate with when life is really awesome. But when you have a terminal illness, or even if you're not diagnosed with terminal cancer, if you have an earlier stage cancer, you need a support system. And I have some friends that have a great built-in system, and I have some friends that don't. And cancer can be a really lonely thing to go through. Especially, factoring COVID right now, you can't even take people to treatment with you, at least you can't here. It can make the battle, the journey, the fight, whatever you want to call it, lonely. It can be really isolating. And cancer is really good at doing that, especially if it's prolonged. Because I think sometimes people get tired of dealing with it, or they don't know that you still need the same support, or you look healthier than you did because you have hair now. And so people assume that you're okay, and you're not. I've happened to be blessed with a really good support system. I'm very, very thankful for it. My husband has been amazing from the beginning of our cancer journey with our family. My kids are really great. Now, I don't find it appropriate to use them as support in the same way as my husband, right? They're kids. I don't want to be dumping those problems on them, but they remind me what I'm fighting for. If I'm having a bad day, they can be really sweet about it. Or sometimes they just annoy me, and I still love them anyways, and they remind me why I want to do everything I can to still be as good a mom as I can be. I'm very blessed that my parents actually live up here. They moved up before I was diagnosed, not to see me. They came up to see the grandkids. But nonetheless, they're here, and that's been a big blessing because they are very helpful with watching the girls, or providing a meal, or chatting with, or just knowing that they're all of 5 minutes away. I also have a great support in my pastor at church. Not only is he my pastor, but he's also my boss because I work at church. He's also a friend and a confidant, and someone that's just really good to chat with, to logically look at different situations in my life. When I'm feeling down, when stuff seems a little overwhelming, he's a great person to go to. I also have like a core group of friends that I can chat with about stuff. And I don't tell everyone everything all the time. There's kind of different people. I don't mean to sound like I use them for different things, but I have different friendships with different people, and they are uplifting or helpful in so many different ways. So having like that core group of people can be really helpful. And then also, I've talked about this in other videos, one of the main people in my support system is actually my counselor. Thankfully, I knew her and had a really good rapport with her before I was diagnosed with cancer. That relationship was already there, and she has been extraordinary as I've been dealing with cancer, on just being really flexible with appointments, or chatting on the phone, or having a video call if I couldn't make it in, or just being really open to be helpful to me however she could be. And so I'm really blessed with this great support system. And yet, though, at times it can still feel really isolating because no one quite knows what you're going through, right? Even my husband, who lives here with me, obviously, doesn't always quite know how I'm feeling, physically or mentally or emotionally. And I think we have really good lines of communication, but that can be hard as a cancer patient. Because there's just so many facets to cancer on what it's messing up or dealing with, or what you're going through, or what's stressing you out. Or, I don't know. There's so many parts of it. So one thing that I found helpful is actually having other cancer friends. All right. I have one friend that we've met in person that we text every now and again, and that's really nice. I have one friend that I actually met through doing cancer chats, and we've exchanged numbers and we chat. What's nice about that is this is someone that, though no two cancer stories are exactly the same, it helps build this really nice community, right? You have people that really do get the nitty gritty of what you're going through, because either treatments are the same or they're very similar, or just these concerns. It's like just people kind of walking a very similar path at that point. However, having cancer friends comes at a cost. because they might not always be around, right? And if you're friends with me, or you're friends with someone else that has cancer, or I'm friends with another cancer person, that idea that they'll always be here, it's just not realistic. And that's honestly not true for any of us, right? Like, we're all going to die at some point. But when you are friends with someone that's got a terminal illness, most likely that will be what they pass away from. And that's hard. It's hard to lose someone that you're close to, someone that you see walking that similar journey as you. And to be on the other side of it, like if you're someone that's friends with me, like that's an added cost to our friendship, right? That cancer might win out over my body at some point. I wasn't super close with a lady in this community here where I live, in this cancer community. I just knew her mainly from Facebook, but I know a lot of people here were very close with her, and she actually just passed away from cancer. And that's a hard part of having cancer friends. I don't think you should ever turn down a friendship or not help somebody out or not befriend someone because they have a terminal illness. It's just an added cost that's in there. It's an emotional cost. So while I absolutely think having good cancer friends has been a huge bonus to me, there's also like this heavy factor that's in there, because they might not always be around, and that's tough and that's hard. And so I encourage you to find a good support system. Not everyone's blessed with a really intact family that's going to be super helpful that way. But I know, like in my area, Susan G. Komen has a good support system of people that meet together on a regular basis. Like, go get involved with that. I know that sometimes churches have cancer support groups. Like, go get involved with that. Go find a counselor if you need to. Have open communication with your spouse or other friends. Find cancer friends. Do all these things, because cancer can be very lonely and very hard. But don't let it isolate you to the point that you really are alone, because there are people, I'm certain, that love you and care about you, or you can find groups of people that understand kind of what you're going through, and that can be very uplifting. It sometimes comes at a cost, and you're gonna mourn the fact when a friend passes away from something that's very similar to what you're going through. But what a rich friendship that could be for both of you in the meantime. So I encourage you, don't let yourself be isolated. Find a support group. Be a support for somebody else, and make the best of what you have now. Don't let cancer win on the emotional front or the spiritual front or the mental front here. It might beat you up physically, but I hope you can find people that uplift you in the meantime.